Welcome to Blend's Localization Leaders series, where we interview industry leaders who are paving the way for advances in localization through their work. In today's episode, we're joined by TikTok's Zhongjun. TikTok is the world's leading short-form video social platform. Thank you so much for joining us today, Zhongjun. I'm so very excited to have you on our Localization Leaders series. We're really happy to have you.
Yeah, it's my honor, Corinne. And I believe this will be a very nice talk.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm excited to hear more about you and what you're doing at TikTok. So I'd love to just start by getting, like I said, some background on you and your career path. So what was your journey to the localization industry like, and in particular to your role as TikTok's localization team lead?
Yeah, I've been a freelance translator. Part-time freelance translator um, for since 2008
Wow.
when I started doing translation for news magazine in China, and then in 2014 I started my own translation agency called Panda Translation, and and until then that was still a part-time job, like a side job. So um, then in 2017 I joined Airbnb and worked at Airbnb China office as the first localization manager there. Then
Wow.
2.5 years later I left Airbnb and fully devoted myself to my translation agency until um,
Wow.
June 2022. I joined TikTok to lead the localization team here.
Wow, amazing. Can I ask, just out of curiosity, when you were just doing part-time translation and founding your agency, what were you doing the other part of the time? Like,
Full time
did you have
job.
another job?
Uh,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. So I studied journalism. So at first, after
Ah,
graduation,
okay.
I joined a company that makes banknote of China
Mm,
as
okay.
the corporate culture manager. And then I did that job for 7 years until I joined Airbnb.
Wow. Wow, super
Yeah,
interesting.
I believe many things happened on me were out of my expectation or out of my plan.
Mm,
So gradually, I just went with the flow, like go with the flow,
yeah.
and
Yeah, yeah.
become what I am now.
That's really cool. I guess sometimes life has a plan for you. So,
Yeah, I
um,
believe so.
awesome. So I guess we can jump to speak a little bit more about TikTok and what you're doing there today. So what role would you say localization plays at TikTok, and how is your team structured? What do you guys look like there at the localization team?
Yeah, um, I'd say the team setup at TikTok is quite similar to that of Airbnb. So localization team is under design team, and the design team is under product team. And uh, within the design team, we have content design team. So uh,
Mm,
the whole content pipeline uh, can be under design.
that makes
I think
sense.
this setup is great for localization.
Absolutely, because I guess it's all connected. So what do you think is TikTok's greatest localization strength?
I think the biggest strength with TikTok localization is that we have a team of content designers, like
Hmm.
more than 50 of them, to create the source texts. And the source text production is centralized within TikTok so that the source text quality can be guaranteed. and and can be consistent. So which
Yeah.
is very important to localization. And because we are a content design team and localization team are both under design team, so we can have closer collaborations on setting up some localization guidelines and to sync up terms between the two teams, so etc. So we can have closer collaborations so that more context can be delivered to linguists. And I think another advantage we have is that we are under the product team, so we can have closer look at the high priority projects
Hmm.
that is going on. So because we can get the latest info from the product team about our future plans and about the priorities and everything. Considering we are a product localization team, so this is crucial to us. This info can be very helpful when we plan our um, initiatives.
Okay, yeah, that's amazing.
Mm.
Um, and speaking of teams and everything, we know that building a strong localization team and is of course really important for the success of a company's localization efforts. So,
Of
what do
course.
you look for in a localization manager that you're hiring for your team? What would you say are like key things that you're looking for?
So this is a very good question, and because no matter how your team is structured within the org, you need people to get things done and get better uh, output or to achieve excellence in your role. So, in my opinion, firstly, localization team is the business partner instead of just an internal vendor team,
Right.
because
Mm.
localization is the booster of business. So we want to build close relationship with our stakeholders so that we can boost the business and to help more users to understand the product, to understand the messages that we want to deliver, so that users can use the product in a better way. So I think uh, this goal is our mutual goal together with our stakeholders. So we want to convey this idea to our stakeholders, and we want to support them in this journey. So for hiring managers, I also will ask them how to do better in this aspect. Like, how do
Mm-hmm.
we better support our business instead of just play with vendors and building
Right.
up some uh, workflows inside localization team.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we want to impact the whole business from the
Right.
localization perspective. Other than localization, translation, project management, what else can a localization team do in a tech
Right.
company? I will ask something like this. In this way, I can um, find the best person that understands the real impact of localization and who wants to contribute to building up such a ideal workflow or ideal
Mm-hmm.
um, work environment within our company and within
Right.
my localization team.
Yeah, it makes sense. Like someone who can see the big picture and can make a bigger impact beyond just what you might see in the details of the typical localization, what you
Project
think of
management.
localization role. Yeah, project management.
Yeah,
Like someone that can see that it's really impacting pieces throughout the company and like that wants to drive it forward. Um,
yeah.
that's
Because I think content, regardless of language, is the key for users to understand your product, to understand the
Hmm.
workflow you want your users to go through. So the localized content can be helpful to everyone.
Absolutely. Yeah. You have to believe in the mission.
Another quality I'm looking for is persistence or resilience,
Mm.
because for many tech companies, localization is always the last thought. So there,
Right.
it's never prioritized or um, reached out to beforehand. Sometimes we need to um, reach out proactively so
Hmm.
to achieve a goal. And this goal is
Right.
not about just about localization ourselves, but a mutual goal that can also benefit our stakeholders. And sometimes
Right.
this can be challenging for both teams. And I
Mm.
want someone to um, proactively look for solutions for different
Yes.
stakeholders, and that can understand what other stakeholders are doing and understand how it works for them and for us, and then to find a mutual ground that can we can build up together.
We know that AI is a very hot topic right now. And although it's not really new, I'm sure you've been in the industry a while, it's not so new to the industry, but I think the AI's capabilities and quality are rapidly developing in terms of translation and localization capabilities. So, how do you feel that AI impacts your day to day as a localization professional? And maybe if you have any tips on how to use AI to optimize your processes, that would be great too.
Hmm. I think the impact of AI is not just about localization, and frankly speaking, doing translation is just a tiny part of the
Part.
capabilities AI
Hmm.
tools can deliver. So, um, frankly speaking, we don't have AI capabilities in our localization management workflow now at TikTok localization, but we're actively exploring the possibilities. And
Hmm.
maybe by the end of this year, we can have some real use case or real example of AI implementation in our workflow. Um,
Wow.
but I think sometimes I can share some uh, like small little stories about how to use AI to get back to our
Yeah.
stakeholders. For example, once a PM asked, I saw two different translations of this term in a certain language. So what is the difference? I think this one is shorter, but that was at in the middle of the night um, when I
Hmm.
got the message. So there's no way to reach out to our vendors for help. So I asked GPT for this question with this question, and I got the answer uh, quickly, like in seconds.
Wow, that's
Uh,
brilliant.
yeah, yeah, and I found that, even though uh, maybe doing translations in this language pair is uh, not so ideal using GPT, but uh, if you ask questions like this, it can get back to you very quickly, and most of the
Right.
time it's reliable.
Yeah. That's a cool use case.
And additionally, I think AI can be very helpful, very, very helpful to SEO, because
Mm.
in the past, maybe you need human writers to tweak your articles for SEO purposes,
Hmm.
but now maybe you can use the correct prompt and maybe correct examples, like few shot, one shot examples, to let AI to write a post for you and to achieve the similar goals for your SEO campaigns.
Thanks for sharing some insights on how you use it. Maybe it'll inspire someone in their team, make things a bit easier for them.
Yeah,
So great, amazing. So we can move to our short, kind of rapid fire questions. So it's just short answers, a bit more fun topics, just to get to know you
cool.
better as
Looking
well.
forward to it.
So yeah, so we can start with what would you say is your favorite
Hmm.
language?
I'd say it's Chinese because this is my mother tongue, and I think Chinese sometimes
Mm-hmm.
is succinct and concise, and you can express a lot of meanings with just a few characters.
Yeah, that's amazing. And what would you say is your favorite localization tool that you use?
Uh, Actually, I've done a lot of research on TMS systems. So, frankly speaking, I think SmartLink and Trados Enterprise are the best localization tools that I've used, because they have a very flexible workflow setup, and they can help you with various localization purposes.
Awesome. Very nice. And what's your favorite place that you've ever traveled to?
Um, I think Taiwan is the favorite place I've traveled to. First,
Hmm,
you don't have language
cool.
barriers there as a
Hmm.
Chinese, so you can speak
Yeah.
fluently, freely with local people. And then
Hmm.
I think Taiwan has very beautiful scenes and very delicious food. You can feel the closeness between people, between me and the people there.
What would you say is the best localization advice you've ever received?
I think the best localization advice I've received is from Bruno Herman, because I am so inspired by his his idea of business partner, localization as a business partner instead of a
Mm.
service team,
Yeah,
because any organization or any team or department within a company, you need to contribute to the business. And
absolutely.
at localization, we have I'd say perfect chance to contribute to the business. So I think this is very inspiring to me.
Yeah, that's great advice. Um, so what would you say is your localization nightmare?
Um, I'd say polluted TM, polluted translation
Mm,
memory, because we when polluted translation memory plus careless translators, you will get a mess at the end, and this
yeah,
can
absolutely.
impact any future strings.
Definitely not what you want.
Yeah.
So, and then who would you say is your localization role model?
So my localization role model is the localization globalization head of Airbnb, Salvo,
Oh,
because
awesome.
Salvo joined Airbnb after I joined Airbnb. So and after he joined, we had a whole new way of work at Airbnb localization, and he opened a new localization world for me, because I was
Yeah,
delved myself into localization project management in the past before I
yeah.
knew Salvo. But yeah, he changed me a lot.
Wow, amazing. And now, lastly, which brand is your localization crush? So any other brand whose localization you admire?
I'd say Spotify. because every year I'm inspired by the year wrap up of Spotify.
Yeah.
And I believe
Me too.
it has a very strong localization team.
Definitely, definitely. Okay, so thank you so much, Zhongjun, for joining us today. I'm really happy that we could have you and that you can share your insights and um, just hear more about your experiences. You're really a localization leader, and it's an honor to have you.
Yeah,
So thank
it's
you.
my pleasure. Thank you.